Now go on to our next speaker, Dr. Vavikar, who has another very good learning curl for us. On to you, Doctor. Could you share your video? Yes. You're muted, I think. Dr. Vavikar, we can't hear you.
Vavikar, we can't hear you. Can you stop share for a minute? Just click on the share screen button once. And on the bottom left, there is something called share computer sound, share sound. Just tick that. Just play it from the beginning. We should be able to hear it.
From the beginning, yes.
So still no sound.
We can't hear you.
Okay now?
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
It was otherwise a normal day. I started performing a regulation cataract surgery on a 65-year-old male patient with well-dilated pupil and no other risk factors. I completed the rhexis and suddenly it happened. The visco dissected the entire Descemet's membrane in the form of a killer wave. I took a deep breath and took a side port on the opposite side and started injecting visco under the Descemet's membrane and flattening it against the cornea. Taking a scleral incision, I proceeded with very gradual hydrodissection, not disturbing the anterior chamber too much. I kept on injecting visco time and again, more often than usual, so as to ensure that the Descemet's membrane does not fall down. Started phaco with very low parameters of 150 vacuum, 16 flow rate and a bottle light of 110. Started with a direct chop technique, but the low vacuum was not allowing direct chop. Therefore, I shifted to 4-quadrant technique, debulking the nucleus in the center, then going ahead with making 4 pieces. I was doing phaco inside the capsular bag as much as possible so as to be away from the Descemet's membrane. Even for irrigation aspiration, low parameters were used and the tip of the aspiration port was not pointing directly upwards but slightly slanted so as not to disturb the Descemet's membrane. While implanting the lens, the tip of the cartridge was inserted very much into the anterior chamber and the lens was implanted in 2 steps. The trailing haptic was introduced in the bag by means of a dialer. The next step was introduction of air into the anterior chamber for firm reattachment of the Descemet's membrane. However, the side ports were leaking. Therefore, 10-0 stitches were taken at both the side ports as well as at the main wound. Air was introduced to hyperinflate the anterior chamber to raise IOP to a significant level. IOP was felt digitally and the patient was allowed to rest in the same position for about 1 hour. Subsequent slit lamp examination confirmed that the Descemet's membrane was attached and some amount of air was burped out. Next day, the patient had a visual acuity of 6/9 or 20/30, and there was some amount of striate keratopathy, but the Descemet's membrane was firmly attached, which was confirmed by anterior OCT.
That was a wonderful video, a lot of learning for all of us, Dr. Vavikar. So I think the message here is we need to ensure that our instrument is right, gone through the side port before we inject viscoelastic, because this could be an accidental occurrence in some of these eyes, or if it's a very shallow AC, or if there's a dense arcus where you're not able to visualize, we need to be careful there. But I was quite interestingly, it is also that some eyes are predisposed to getting a DM detachment, like eyes with pseudo exfoliation or a posterior polymorphous dystrophy, or some genetically, some eyes can happen. DM detachment can easily happen. Dr. Chandrasekhar handled it very well, but I wanted the experts' thoughts that would you like to inject air and ensure that the DM is detached and take up the cataract surgery at a later point when there was the entire Descemet's which had got detached? Or is there any role of those venting incisions to be placed which could ensure that you remove any fluid in that interface so that the DM gets detached? And is there any role of a C3F8 gas at some point of time if the air doesn't help? These are certain thoughts which come up when this kind of significant DM detachment occurs. So I wanted thoughts of Dr. Vavikar and others too on this.
Yeah, C3F8 I will use only if...
Could you be louder?
C3F8 I'll use only if it redetaches after air injection.
Yes.
Burping incisions I will not do here because there is no visco in the interface between the Descemet's membrane and the main corneal stroma. Had it been there, it would have been a very difficult situation. Luckily, I had not used visco till that time. And because CCC was already completed, I did not have any option but to go ahead with the cataract surgery. The laziness is that I did not enter my visco cannula right into the AC. That was the basic mistake.
Yes. Anything, Dr. Ramurthy, Dr. Kamal? Yes, Dr. Kamal. You are muted. Unmute yourself.
Demonstrated video. I said it's a well demonstrated video. One point I'd like the beginners to understand, a lot of times it is a badly constructed wound where you're doing a hydro or you're going through the side port and you start injecting before you're inside the eye. That of course goes without saying. But a lot of times you have a bad keratome, your main wound, you slightly unfold the Descemet's as you go in with the blade. And then without realizing, when you go with your IA or your phaco tip with the fluid on, you can actually get into that plane and the fluid can go there. I have a few videos where one of my associates is actually going in with the IA port, the aspiration port facing the roof with vacuum on, and he goes in, pulls in a little tag of Descemet's, and with the vacuum, he peels it, and that's how it goes. So that goes without saying, having a good pair of blades, a well-architectured wound goes a long way to make sure that we don't have these situations. And of course, as it was earlier mentioned, that before pushing in fluid, any kind of fluid inside the eye, make sure you're there well within the anterior chamber and not within the wound and start injecting.
Yes, Dr. Shishir?
I would say each time we go inside and come out, be careful. The tips of the instruments be a little down, not facing parallel to the cornea is an important thing to remember.
I think as was mentioned, the most important reason for this DMD is a blunt instrument, blunt keratome. And please do not try to save money on that. Use a sharp instruments and then most often this problem will not occur. But otherwise, once it has occurred, beautiful teaching video, Vavikar. I mean, you did everything right. I think most important was not to proceed with the surgery through the same incision. You abandoned that and went on to make a fresh incision, a sclerocorneal incision. Then subsequently, gentle steps, as you were rightly emphasizing right through. And then finally, suturing up the incisions and filling up with that so that you maintain a well-formed anterior chamber right through. I think that's what saved the day for you. So obviously a difficult complication, but well handled.
Thank you very much.